This is Buy My Money, and welcome to my live trading journal with live commentary, making $500 a day, solely scalping the ES, only using one setup, the two-legged pullback. Today it is December 3rd, and I'm trading 5 ES contracts per trade, which is $250 per 1-point scalp. With just 2 scalps a day, you can make $500. The two-legged pullback is a pure price action strategy. It's a setup that looks like this. First pullback, first entry, second pullback, and we like to enter into the second entry after the two-legged pullback. Same here. We also call it A, B, C pattern, and we like to enter in the second entry right here. And so this goes by a couple names: two-legged pullback, second entry, and also the ABC pattern. And so we like to find this setup at key entry points, such as moving averages, support resistance, trend lines, channels. So we like to find this pattern, and the reason why it works and why it's such a high probability trade, greater than 90%, is because the market likes to move in twos. And so after one pullback, the market wants to see what happens on the first entry, and once they gather that information, once the market makes another pullback, then they want to enter. They're hesitant on the first one because they want to see the reaction, but on the second entry, they are more confident, and that's from Al Brooks. He, describes that in detail in his books, and so, that's the same concept with double tops, double bottoms. The market likes to see the second attempt and go in the second time because they want to see the reaction for the first time. And so, with these two-legged pullbacks, we try to find good entry points here. My chart is pretty minimalistic. I know I have a lot of lines, but this is just my, charting and trend lines. But indicator-wise, pretty much pure price action, other than the 20 EMA, we saw the blue line, the dashed line, which is the 240 SMA, and the custom indicator that I made that counts legs and identifies two-legged pullbacks. Dark red, dark green numbers are two-legged pullbacks. Magenta boxes are traps. And so I'm working on releasing this, but I've been very busy in personal life, and so I'm going to try to get this out next week if possible, but if not next week, then hopefully the week after that. But I'm working hard to get that out to you guys as fast as I can, and so whatever can help benefit your trading, I want to provide that for you guys. So let's see here. I trade basically a couple tick charts here. My time frame is a 610 tick, 2584 tick chart, 10,946 tick chart, and the 5-minute. I use those because those are Fibonacci numbers. And yeah, so I made, just depending on the day, I like to use these tick charts and find confluence between them, and use tick charts in different time frames to find confluence and inform me of the momentum, things like that. And yeah, so also provides more opportunities, more two-legged pullbacks, the more tick frames you have, more time frames you have. And yeah, so if you'd like to learn more about this setup and strategy, in the description I'll have some playlist that goes into more details about this setup. So please feel free to check that out. But otherwise, stick around and enjoy my live trading with live commentary.
Order filled. Target filled.
Alright, 2K chart can make a two-legged pullback now. A, B, C, something like that. So we want to see. A, B, C, top of this channel here. Created from this pivot, and this pivot. We have a good two-legged pullback if we get up here. A, B, C, and we need a good signal bar. Since the first entry here is basically one tick, I would really want a nice signal bar here, because it's like, okay, if only made one tick here, we might make only one tick up here as well. Alright, so now we are in two-legged pullback zone. The next leg will be a two-legged pullback. Next bear leg will be a two-legged pullback. Need a good signal bar here. Alright, I'd be interested here.
Order submitted.
Let's give it a small retracement.
Order canceled. Order submitted. Order canceled. Order submitted. Order filled.
Alright, made this trade. It's two-legged pullback, key entry point. Good signal bar. Keeping my stop at 4 points here. For the high probability trade, you need to have a stop like this.
Target filled.
All right, filled here. Right, waiting for a good signal bar here. A, B, C. This is a long time support from this pivot, and here we go. Here we are again at this pivot at the 240 SMA, creating some tails here. I'll be interested in a long trade here. A, B, C pattern. Good signal bar, I'll be interested. Hit the 240 SMA on the 5-minute chart. I'm going to prime up my order here.
Order submitted.
This is a 2K chart trading, two-legged pullback off the 240 SMA and support. Decent looking signal bar here. Enough room to the 20 EMA. Turning green, about to explode here. 128, 127, more ticks. Okay, actually ended up a little bearish. Huh. Not the best signal bar actually. I didn't like that action there. Good context though.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Let's get him with a small retracement here. I think people have limit orders right here.
Order filled.
Shoot. All right, I'm in. Let's let this ride.
Target filled.
A, B, C.
Order submitted. Order filled. Target filled.
All right, filled. A, B, C, two-leg pullback, 20 EMA. Wrapping up here, up around 812, 50. Gonna go over my trades. First trade happened around 942. I saw this two-legged pullback. A, B, C, and I wanted to get in here, and as you can see, it's also a trap because of this two-leg pullback. A, B, C, A, B, C, and it fails to make a point, goes only down one tick and reverses, and so it was both a trap and a two-legged pullback above the 20 EMA. So I thought it was a good trade. And during the trade, I had my stop loss around 4 points. And most people will be like, that's taboo. You should have your stop loss one tick below your pivot or your signal bar. And yeah, typically that's fine. But with a setup like this, a two-legged pullback with a trap above the 20 EMA, that's a really good setup. In order to have a setup with a high probability, you actually need to raise your you need to actually raise your risk. And so otherwise I would have been stopped out right here. I wouldn't have been filled and stopped out because the risk was too small. This movement is too small. This is only like 1 bar, basically 1 point risk for 1 point reward, and that risk reward ratio does not fit with the 90% probability. Think about it. If you had a 90% probability trade and your risk ratios 1 to 1, then who will take the opposite side of that trade? No one, no institution, no trader. And so it's like saying, you risk 1 point and you have 90% chance to lose it. Someone else has to be willing to take that trade, and no one will be willing to take that trade. But probability wise, I raised about 4 points. Even 4 points is still pretty good. 1 to 4 for 90% probability. And so that put me below this pivot here, and I skunked out. I saw this break the signal bar, and so for me that was a sign for me to skunk out. And so I skunked out here, and I'm glad I did at the end, because who knew what would happen after this. But actually went back down, but didn't break. It didn't reach my stop. It wouldn't have reached my stop, and I've been protected by this 20 EMA, and sooner or later it just went up from there, and I would have made my point, but I was fine skunking that. So a little bit more about the probability. Typically your trader's formula, which is risk reward ratio multiplied by probability, that typically needs to be close to 0, because the market is a zero-sum game. There's buyers, there's sellers, and so if your trader's formula is way above 1, then it's it shouldn't, that's an impossible trader's formula. It has to be pretty close to 1. So 4-point risk with 90% probability. If you do the trader's formula, it's a profitable trader's formula. So, but skunked out of that trade anyways. This was the second trade I took, and it was A, B, C, good signal bar. And the reason why I took this one, I believe, where was my trend line? I think it was as simple as this. Sorry. Wedge here, also this trend line here with this channel, reaching the apex of this. Saw the two-legged pullback, exhaustive move with the wedge, and good signal bar. That was good enough for me. Because of the good signal bar, I figured it was greater than 90% here, and also near the previous all-time high, which is a recent all-time high, which was like right here. And so I felt like people would be looking to sell here, which they end up doing, and ended up being around here where you find a lot of resistance. So now the new recent all-time high is right here. Keep track of that. And here's my third trade. This one was, I would say, comes from experience here. We have the 240 SMA. We have a two-legged pullback. Sorry, 1 second. It's actually so confusing. A, B, C. A, B, C. And I saw it pop up and begin the bear leg, and when I saw this candle form right before, I saw it kind of flicker green and then back to red, and also seeing this pattern right here, this long wick or this long tail, and then coming down to break below this long tail, made me feel like there was still some selling pressure here. And so the reason why I wanted to come in here is because I saw this, but I came with a retracement. If I didn't come with a retracement, I most likely would have been stopped out. But I knew that there would be a retracement because of how this was forming, and also seeing this pattern here. If it makes a wick like this, a tail, and trades underneath it, trades in it and underneath it, this is technically a trading range, and this is a breakout. And so now we're going trading under this breakout. And so I wanted to get in a retracement here, and so I got in a retracement somewhere like in the middle here, and it actually started to reverse and then immediately reverse the other way and give me my point. But if you see here, it actually didn't make a point. It trapped out here and took all these traders out, took all these longs out right here with this trap, and they finally reversed. So that's the market. You know, it's a vicious place, and they are out to take your money. And so that is what the market does right there. But because of experience, I figured to come in with a retracement here, and think I could at least make a point because of all of this support here. And I had like a 4-point, stop loss. 1, 2, 3, 4, and pretty much around 4 points. It's like that's where it reached. It was looking for stop loss hunt. It was stop loss hunting for sure. And my last trade comes towards the end of the day, the last like 5 minutes. So it took a little while for good trends to start forming, and I saw a good two-legged pullback here. ABC, most classic two-legged pullback to the 20 EMA, strong downtrend, scalped the point, and then reversed. So that's it for today. As always, happy trading and God bless.